I'm still here in the kitchen drinking my coffee, and I want to tell you a little bit about Andi, who's been coming to Parallel Play for months now, and he's worked on many different creative projects. But he recently said to me that why Parallel Play works for him is because it helps to keep him calm about what he's working on, calm about it's going to get out into the world. And the calm doesn't come from the fact that he finishes it or publishes it, but because he's got a space where he's able to come and present it to people that aren't his parents, aren't potentially future employers, but they're just people who get him and understand him. He doesn't have to over-explain why he overthinks things, why he goes back and reworks and stuff while there's a big pile of things waiting to get done. He knows that we get him, that we understand him, we understand who he is and how he works. And even if it doesn't necessarily line up with ours, there's a real grace and empathy. Not just for me as a host, but everyone that comes along. We all have space and time and room for everyone else to work in the way in which they want to. Now, nobody's working on the same things. We're all working on our own different projects in unique and interesting ways. And it's just been really interesting to see, and I think it's one of the privileges of hosting this, is having people show up and say, I really struggled to get my work out into the world, but then as we block out that time, as we commit to something, and then we get to the end of the time and saying, hey, I'm so much closer to getting it out there, or I've hit publish, or I've chopped these up into smaller pieces ready to work. It's just so helpful. And not just for me, like everybody there in the Parallel Play feels encouraged, supported, listened to, but also there's a sense of collaboration and community, that we're all working on this, even if it's not the piece that we're most comfortable with, the getting it out to the world piece. And that's such an amazing thing to do. One thing I wanted to say is that in section 35, I don't know if these are chapters or not, but in section 35 of Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act, he talks about completion. And he talks about the fact that when we share our work with others, and maybe it's that close to finished, ready for some other ears, some other eyes on it, that when we share it, that's when it actually gives the work an opportunity to change. Because when you take it out of your own private realm and head, and you play it or present it to somebody else, and I don't know about you, but I'm often going, oh, well, I know this bit's not finished, or it's not quite the right length, or I haven't done, and I start to apologize and make excuses. It's because I'm seeing it in a new light. And yes, there's a gift in somebody else taking it there, but it's also an opportunity for you to now see it with fresh eyes, listen to it with fresh ears, read it with a fresh perspective, and the fact that it's out there in the world. And there is an energetic exchange where we hold the work differently, where we present it differently, but in a lot of times, I actually think it's better to hold on to that caveat that you're going to give and let them give you pure, unadulterated feedback without you seeding what they might be seeing or perceiving. Let them experience it, because the work is so important when somebody else gets it. And also, I think it's really important to put your work out there. Anyway, thanks, Rick, for that inspiration on that piece. And that's not the only reason why Parallel Play is useful. It's also useful to have a chunk of time that you know is slotted into your calendar where other people are going to show up. There's a little bit of a sense of, I've signed up for this and I need to go. There's also a sense of when you're on the call with other people that it's like, well, I can't just, leg it outside and go and do something. Now, that doesn't mean that if you've got to go pick up your kids, or Amazon's dropping something off, you can't go and answer your doorbell, or your dog needs to be let in and out of the room. All those things are totally fine. You can show up when you like and you can leave when you like. You don't have to be there right at the start. And you can show up beforehand as well. Like there's not a locked in, like it is a time window. It's a box. It's a box for you to do with what's appropriate for you. And it's something you don't even have to share your work. It's just a little bit of accountability about saying, today I'm going to work on editing this video. And maybe by the end you don't have it finished, but you're able to go, but I'm an awful lot closer. And the interesting thing is the next time you show up, then there's a little bit of intrigue from the other people on the call to say, how are you getting on with that video? Is it up? And we also have a Discord where we can share the final work when it does go live. So it doesn't have to start, finish, and end in that piece. And also, people who've been to Parallel Play a few times start to understand what's the kind of work that I can get done here. Sometimes some of those initial phases where you're moving around the place, where you're doing different things, don't always work that well when you're sat there on camera, but it depends on the work that you do and how you process. It could literally be that you're set up with a notebook and a cup of coffee, and you're just working and processing and thinking, and you're just allowing that space for you to be able to show up and do that. One of the main ways in which Parallel Play helps is because you're working alongside other creatives who struggle to get their work out to the world. We're cheering each other on. We're not forcing you to put it out there, but we are saying, hey, it can get done. We do get to share when Lynn, for example, finishes her commission, shows us a picture and sends it off, you know, or when the other day Jane was like, okay, I finally got my invoice for the work I've been doing written and sent. And that was for last month. She's putting this out there so she can get paid. So there's pieces like that. It's not always fully creative stuff, but it's stuff that gets in our way. So to be able to clear those out, close some tabs, and know that the next time you sit down to be creative, you're in a better headspace, physical space, emotional space, ready to create. So if you've got something that's 80% finished and it's nearly done, come and join us. We'd love to have you along. There's a link in the description. It's free to try. We'd love to see if you can make progress, get something even closer to being released and being ready to go. Okay, YouTube's going to show you another video here. I'll get to go inside the door because my brother's come to see me. Ciao.